Hey everybody, it's Andy. We are hanging out with the wonderful Patti LuPone, who stars on Netflix streaming this Friday in Hollywood. Stars on Hollywood streaming this Friday on Netflix. Hey Patti. I want to Broadway Bandit 5. We have questions for you. Tweeted, what was your husband's reaction to your sex scene when you first told him it was happening? In Hollywood, you have a big sex scene. You're
right. Well, Matt actually saw me do a sex scene in an Italian movie made years and years ago, which I think was a little more graphic than this sex scene. And at this point, my husband knows me and knows show business, so it really wasn't a big deal.
Let's see. Brooks H texted, do you honestly think Joanna Gleason deserved to win the Tony over you when you starred in Anything Goes?
No.
What did she win for?
She won for The Baker's Wife in the Woods, into the Woods.
Got it.
You know what? It's a crapshoot, but I thought I was pretty damn funny and I had a lot to do. You know, you never know. It's the Tonys.
Oliver D emailed, Patti, what are your thoughts on the trend of making musicals based on female divas like Cher, Donna Summer, and Tina Turner? And would you ever be open to a Patti musical?
No, I would never be open to a Patti musical. And I think if they're good, they can be a lot of fun.
I got to tell you, John Hickey and I went to see the Tina Turner musical together. It's full throttle. It's actually really great. And I don't love a jukebox musical.
Yeah, I get it. And you know what? I haven't seen it yet because we all came, it was on when we were in London and I didn't see it. And now we're on at the same time here. I'm very curious to see it. But if they do the jukebox musicals and they do them as well as Des McAnuff creates them, then that's a good story. But if they're shitty, then who wants to see any? Don't ruin the idea of those bands,
Yeah. Peter M wants to know, what compliment or praise have you gotten from someone in the theater industry that meant the most to you during your career?
I have to say, Zoe Caldwell, when she saw me in Sweeney Todd, wrote to me and said that I'm trying to remember how she put it, because I thought, first of all, I was surprised that she wrote that because I am a trained ensemble actor, but the fact that she observed it and wrote to me about it really reaffirmed how I approach my work. She said, basically, I didn't suck all the oxygen out of the stage, that I was a ensemble player. And that was a very big compliment.
Patti, I got to tell you, one of my great, as we're all in quarantine and we're thinking, God, when are we ever going to be in a moment where we're all going to be together in a theater watching something? As I've been looking back on the great things that I've seen over the years, and specifically in the last year, seeing you at Lincoln Center doing kind of the songbook from your life with the entire orchestra behind you. I mean, I have goosebumps just thinking about it. And you were just absolutely, it was just a next level, one of those New York nights that I think I'll never forget. And what was that like for you up there? That was your birthday performance. You had the entire, was it the New York Philharmonic,
yeah.
And it was you doing basically your catalog and with the funniest banter. What did that night mean to you?
Well, it was scary as hell. When Scott Whitman is my director and conceptualist, and Joseph Thalken is my arranger, and we had to fight the New York Philharmonic for the conductor because they are classical musicians, and we needed a Broadway conductor, which is a totally different rhythm, just a totally different rhythm. And Scotty lined it up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Because it started with I Am So Easily Assimilated, which is a mezzo-soprano, into Worst Pies in London, which was a soprano. But what it did, and I don't think even Scotty knew what it was going to do, it lined up my voice for the whole night because it's literally 1/11th hour after another. And
it was all 11 o'clock numbers sung in their original key, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so, and when I worked on it in London, Joe was over, my musical director, Joseph Thalken, came over to London just to hang out, and we worked on it. And so I would sing through it, but I couldn't sing through it when I was doing the show because of doing 8 shows a week. So when I went on vacation, I sang through it in these hotels. I said, do you have a room I can sing in? Okay. And so I'd run through the entire show because there was no threat of losing my voice. I didn't have to sing that night. And so I sort of got the score into my voice. And it's also muscle memory. If you've been singing these songs for a long time, your vocal cords remember where they're supposed to be placed. It was such an exciting night for me because I love to sing with a big orchestra. I am a New Yorker. It is the New York Philharmonic is one of the best orchestras in the world. And they played under the baton of Patrick Vecchiarello. They played. Sometimes you'll get a little attitude from classical musicians playing, popular music. They played. They wanted to play, and
Wow.
the audience gave me so much. I could cry right now thinking about it, Andy.
I could too. It was
the audience gave me so much.
Yeah,
it
was amazing.
Down.
What's your relationship with Stephen Sondheim, by the way? You've had such a lifetime of wonderful collaborations.
It's very sweet right now. It's really, really sweet. It's sarcastic and sweet. Do you know what I mean? He's very funny and he is but he's been very appreciative, I think, of what I brought to Joanne in this production. And because I was his connection, basically. Marianne and I in the London production, he didn't know anybody there. He didn't know any of the cast there. He knew who I was, of course, and he loves Marianne. And so, I think that whatever I brought to Marianne might have surprised him and made him happy. And so, it's a lovely relationship right now. It hasn't always been. I mean, he's been a taskmaster with me, and he's taught me a great deal of. I have bad habits, and he did not tolerate them, basically.
Right.
And it's scary. It's scary when the master is telling you stink.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Yeah.
Well, Patti, you don't stink, and you certainly made us all very happy tonight. What a delightful time hanging out with you. I hope I see you soon in Hickey's backyard and Jeff's. And we'll get a drink. By the way, the other night you and I were just kind of talking about Anderson Cooper during the commercial break. The other night, I texted him as he was getting off the air, and I said, "Hey, meet me at Bar Central for a drink. You want to meet me there in 15 minutes?" Having a fantasy moment. And he texted back and he said, "Yeah, I'm actually already here, and Patti LuPone's at the next table. And she's 2 martinis in and she's starting to sing. So get over here now." And I go, "I'm on my way." And I said, "Oh, that's,
Oh, well, let's plan that one.
Yeah. Oh, we will.
Happen.
We will. Thank you, Patti.